Hello everybody. I want to talk about this video I saw that was published by TektonTv on June the 21st, 2013. The title of the video is called Richard Dawkins Dies Again, and it is a pathetic cartoon on a hypothetical event that Mr. Dawkins dies and goes to heaven. Yeah, bear with me, heaven doesn't exist, but this guy uses that, what many Christians has been using long ago, that atheists, when they die, they somehow has to respond to God for all the bad things they have done. Let us see the first part. Very dramatic. Here is Richard Dawkins going to heavens. The video is trying to debunk Richard Dawkins' book, The God Delusion. So when he arrives heaven, the first thing Richard Dawkins asks is,
"So, where's God?" Ha! I knew it. There isn't one.
So in heavens there are angels riding motorcycles and hitting people with it. If you're an angel in heaven, instead of showing a decent and loving person, they show up an asshole biker, just like Shock of God, hitting atheists that rise in heaven. Very nice analogy of Christian love others like you love yourselves.
Yeah, well, he's in a meeting right now. Besides, you're not that important, so I'll be the one taking care of you before you get sent on your way to your final destination.
Alright then, let me ask you some questions. Let's see, you were some sort of god meeting me. The first thing I'd ask is whether you are Zeus, or Thor, or Apollo, or Baal, and then I'd...
Of course, another example of Christian behavior is that when you're saying something that they don't like, they shut you up. In this case, with a plunger. Very creative indeed.
If I were Zeus, you know what would happen to you right now? And if I were Thor, can you guess what would happen then?
Now see here! What's all this abuse for anyway?
It's to make a point, Rich. You probably thought you were being pretty funny suggesting that you might meet Zeus or Thor up here. But let's quit playing around, shall we? If Zeus or Thor or any of those other ancient gods did actually exist, the reports of their activities and character would be reflected by their interactions with us.
All the irony of this video, it says that if Thor or Zeus were to exist, they would have shown their existence by the interactions they have with us. I don't know if this is a straw man, but definitely he's trying to say that his God does have interaction with us, which is a total lie, and for which he does not provide any evidence in his video.
But there are still live options by your reckoning. I could show up and meet Allah, for example, and he was asked why I believed in that Yahweh.
Well, Rich, that's why we have apologetics, you know? To consider the evidence so we can decide on things like that.
Apologetics review the evidence so they can make decisions on that? What the hell this guy's talking about? What evidence do apologetics review? There is none. As you see, he built a straw man of gods with no evidence, such like Zeus and Thor, and he puts his God in a different arena.
Newsflash, faith means loyalty to the party that earns it, and that's normally earned in some way based on evidence.
Here comes again the evidence part, and as an example of evidence, he puts a link of a video called The Actual Meaning of Faith. You know, he wants to use as evidence in this video, faith. Way to go, TektonTv.
Oh yes? Well, here's what I say about your God. He's jealous and proud of it. A petty, unforgiving control freak, a vindictive, bloodthirsty, ethnic cleanser, a misogynistic, homophobic...
Again, when somebody points out the things that a Christian doesn't want to hear, they shut you up. Most surely, this video will be flagged. Well, I think that will be a blessing for me. Let's continue.
Let's get down to specifics. And I'll do a real simple one to show just how pathetic you are when it comes to collecting facts about the things you criticize. You say God is jealous and proud of it.
That's right. He proudly declares that he's a jealous God in places like Exodus 20:4-5.
And what exactly is wrong with that?
The face of this guy, he doesn't find anything wrong in a God being jealous. Let's see where he's going with this argument.
How can you ask that? Jealousy is a sin according to Christians.
Not in this case. The Hebrew word there is used less than half a dozen times in the Old Testament, and it's always used to describe God. It's nowhere described as a sin, because it isn't. In the honor-based world of the Bible, jealousy could be bad, but there was also a good and honorable type of jealousy that would ward off the envious who would do harm to those under your protection.
So he says that jealousy is not a sin because in the Hebrew word used qanna, it's only used 5 times. It's only used when speaking about God. And of course, they never mentioned that kind of jealousy to be a sin. Actually, he called this a good type of jealousy in the honor-based social world of the Bible. Honor-based. What honor can you bring out of a book where its God has killed more people than the character that they portrayed as the devil, the personification of evil? A book where kids are mauled by bears, firstborn are killed by a plague given by God, and women, children, and old people are put to the sword when they are not from the chosen tribe. But it doesn't matter the way they want to put jealousy. Jealousy only has one meaning, and it is an emotion, and typically refers to the negative thoughts and feelings of insecurity, fear, and anxiety of an anticipated loss of something that the person values, particularly in reference to human connection. So God is jealous of losing its followers, its people, the people who will worship Him. And of course, jealousy also comes with anger and resentment, with a little bit of disgust. There is no correlation between jealousy and envy, because envy is to covet what is not yours, while jealousy is getting angry for losing or trying to avoid losing what you think is yours. In this case, people, you don't own people, but this God, this jealous God, do own people, and He doesn't want to lose them. To whom? Well, the Bible doesn't say, but I think today's Christians are jealous to lose their followers on disbelief and atheism, and that really grinds their gears. The divine jealousy defined in the Bible is a jealousy who leads towards crimes of passion. God punishes those who wants to leave Him. It's just like the same gender violence where a man or a woman kill his or her partner for not loving them or for going away with somebody else. This God is exactly like that. And whether the Bible calls it a sin or not, our society calls it a really bad behavior and a sin in a sense of doing bad to others. In the 6 occurrences of qanna in the Bible, the first one is only of God. It means you belong to God. The second one is as punishing those who hate Him. His enemy, those who has abandoned Him, He hates. Another sin. And of course, the fourth one is demanding exclusive service only to Him. There is no way to read that this is a good jealousy. And trying to make it is not actually jealousy, because the bad jealousy is envy, which has a completely different meaning. This guy, TektonTv, wants to make it more like zealous. This is a classic technique by apologists. They try to change the meaning of a word that has a bad connotation in the Bible to one with less bad connotation. In this case, jealousy, to be zealous. The fundamental meaning of qanna, which this guy doesn't mention in his video, is that it relates to a marriage relationship. God is depicted as Israel's husband. He is a jealous God, wanting all of our praise for Himself and no one else. And that is not a good behavior. There is no way that you can change that and say that this is good. Elkanah, the jealous God, was a threatening attribute used to suggest that Yahweh will not tolerate any disloyalty and will bring dire consequences for those who defected from His worship. There is no Hebrew word meaning loving kindness. Even the infallible one knows or can look in a Hebrew dictionary or concordance and see that Elkanah, visiting iniquity, cannot be twisted into showing mercy to only those that love Him.
So tell me something. Did you read anything more scholarly than a Sears catalog when you were doing research for the God Delusion?
No, but
You said you were a good man who was honest and kind. Do you consider it good, honest, or kind to be irresponsible with information, to do inadequate research and then publish results as authoritative to millions of people? Did you deliberately go out of your way to not check the facts before mouthing off?
no more than that, so I made one mistake.
One mistake. Oh, it was way more than that, Rich.
He says that Richard Dawkins makes a lot of mistakes in his books, and he is a terrible researcher. But this video is full of mistakes. Projection, anyone? A creationist YouTube criticizing one of the most recognized scientists of today's scientific world. I really think I don't have to make a defense for Mr. Dawkins' reputation, because this moron doesn't stand a chance into making even an attempt to. The rest of the video goes on into personal attacks to Richard Dawkins. What good a Christian video will have if it doesn't have something like that? Another thing I wanted to say before finishing this video is that if you go to this guy's channel, you will notice that he is very quick into pulling the trigger on trolls, as he calls them. Anybody who opposes his views or his video, he immediately blocks. Another telling behavior of a Christian apologist here in YouTube. So if you go and pay a visit to him, be sure he will block you in a matter of seconds. TektonTv is a sorry skill for a YouTube channel that using some kind of animation, it has created a propaganda machine for creationist lies and deceit. It's time that we atheists show him some love, don't you think?
So that's the story, Rich. Looks like you're going someplace unpleasant for good reason.
Oh, sure. Fire and water are being filled with pitchforks, eh?
No. That's a kindergarten view of hell. Hell is actually a state of shame and dishonor. And you're going someplace where you're going to be shamed and disgraced and denied the honor you've craved for eternity. See ya.
An auditorium? What kind of place could this be? I don't see how a place like this could be a result of me being shamed or disgraced.
Hello, Slick Rich.
Well, I have to give it to him. Having spent eternity in hell debating William Lane Craig is indeed an inferno. By the way, William Lane Craig is going to be in hell for the rest of his life? Oh, goodies! It turns out that this video is not that bad, don't you think? Thank you for your attention.